Hello traders and welcome to the weekly outlook and setups volume 101. It's Iliya here, and as always I'm super happy to have you on my channel. And as you already know, in this video we are gonna have a look at the market, how it developed this week, what opportunities did we have, and what we can potentially expect for the upcoming week. And we also have a new month, alright, so a new monthly open. And I hope you agree with me, but the past 2 to 3 weeks have been really messy, really consolidative. And just have a quick look on this chart on the DXY. The past 3 candles we have long wicks, like indecision, little moves to no moves at all. So definitely right now I expect June to open with a really good strike with some nice trending markets. First week we're possibly gonna have NFP as well, so maybe after that settles we're gonna have a really nice trending market, so we better prepare. My past 2 weeks were overall kind of break even, very slight losses, but this week I managed to take some pretty nice winners that brought back up everything, and I finished the month in profit, so I'm pretty happy about this. And of course, as always, I'm gonna show you all my trades that I took with explanations and everything. So if you're new to this channel, it's all about trading. I share this weekly outlook and setups every Saturday, and once per week I'm gonna try my best to share a piece of educational content and trades breakdown of the trades that I trade, because I mainly trade GU and EU right now, and you guys really wanted me to make a detailed breakdown only on those 2 pairs, so I'm totally up for it. So make sure you are subscribed, hit the notification bell in order not to miss when those videos are out. And before we start, I want to tell you that I've been messing with crypto, and I do it with Forex.com. It's an amazing broker with low spreads for crypto and Forex as well. It has all the pairs and all the cryptos as well as Dogecoin. But if you pick also their eco account, every single dollar of commission you pay goes towards planting trees. I really like this initiative and I'm supporting them, so make sure to open an account with them. And yep, if you already did, let's see what do we have for this week. Alright, as always, let's get started with the best friend of every trader, the DXY. So let's have a look what the dollar did this week. Well, also a little tip from me will be go to the monthly time frame this week once it closes and examine what happens. Okay, so overall, as you can see from the top right there, we are perfectly bearish. The market was tapping into this very nice demand, but we already reacted from the demand. All right, so basically all the orders were taken. Therefore, we could expect a continuation to the downside. On the dollar, this is something that I would expect, but of course, looking at the monthly is a little bit too much for me, right? As a day trader trading the 1 minute, I don't really need to know where the monthly is going, but of course, you should always be aware of the macro perspective. All right, so every single week I tell you that the market has pushed to the downside, created a lower low, then we pulled back very nicely inside this range. Okay, and since then we have been nicely trending to the downside. But right now for 3 weeks, the market has been finding it difficult to move somewhere. Like right here we pushed to the upside, we retested something, we dropped down, then we had a bearish week. But this one we pushed down, we pushed up, and then we closed exactly where we opened. So yeah, basically nothing too much. Then dropping onto the daily time frame, the first thing that I see is a pretty nice supply area right there on the daily, which is actually the lower high, right? So we push down, there is that weekly wick that we sold to the upside that created a lower high, retested the previous structure, we dropped to the downside, we created a lower low, and have a look at the candle on Friday. So it's a pretty big wick, and when you see a pretty big wick, everybody's gonna start selling. So I think this week is actually gonna get filled, and maybe as well we're gonna tap into that daily supply zone. So let's see. Then dropping onto the hourly, let's see what do we have. So basically the market opened right here. We started with a nice push to the downside that created a lower low. All right, so we broke structure down, and basically from here we can expect further sales. But as you saw on the daily, the market is getting a little bit too low, isn't it? And usually if that happens, you can expect a pullback. So there is our nice pullback that actually came inside this level, this major lower high, and as you can see, failed to break it. We had the reaction, but then the market failed to continue lower after that. And also a little tip that I want to share with you, if you have something like this, so basically this is an equal lower high, all right, but have a look what it starts to form. So basically it starts forming inverse head and shoulders, and you can most of the times expect a continuation, simply because if the market pulls back more than, let's say if you have your FIP, if it pulls back more than 78.6, basically it's 100% pullback, meaning that the buyers are starting to take control. All right, so basically I expected this little pullback right there to create a higher low and then to potentially pump into the highs. So this is why this move actually did what it did. But yes, right now, where is the dollar? Well, we have created a new higher low, as you can see. So therefore, I'm looking to see how it's going to react at the beginning of the week. Are we going to have a punch inside this level to potentially then tap inside the daily level and then to potentially sell off? Let's see. But currently, just working with a couple of levels on the DXY, we actually wicked inside this lower high. As you can see, we actually wicked above it. So basically right now the market is a little bit nowhere, okay? Because if we also drop a fib from the daily time frame like this, we just tapped the 61.8, so we can definitely start expecting the reaction. But personally, I feel that we might have a little bit of a pump to the upside, at least to, for example, tap inside these levels right there and then to potentially break. So on the DXY, I'm going to be flowing with the market right now. Let's see how the monthly candle opens. Take note of those levels and make sure to stay in tune for my Tuesday analysis, where we're going to see how Monday played out and how we're potentially going to position ourselves for the week ahead. Let's have a quick look at the monthly time frame on EU. All right, so right there we have a very nice picture. So as you can see, we consolidated right there. We nicely exploded to the upside, creating a higher high. Then the market very slowly corrected towards that extreme right there, and right now we're starting to create uptrend. Okay, so there is our higher low, the market created a higher high, there is our new higher low, and right now the market is about to create a higher high. First target will be 23.50 to actually create a higher high of this candle right there, and then potentially we're gonna target even these big monthly higher highs. All right, so this is something that I'm gonna be looking for EU. Therefore the bias is bullish on the highest time frames. Dropping even on the weekly, you can see that right there we're coming from this range. We created this nice pump to the upside, and the market very nicely corrected towards, we created this morning star formation right there, and since then we have been trading to the upside. Okay, so currently the targets are right there, which is, let me see, for high like this, we are going to 23,500, right? Dropping onto the daily time frame, well, basically this week we opened up right here. So on the 24th of May, we started with bullishness, we made a higher high, then we started with bearishness, we made the higher low potentially, but still similar to the DXY, I would really love to see, this level get fulfilled right there on the daily, okay? So definitely, as we open the month, maybe we can also expect the monthly low. So the market is first gonna pump to the downside, maybe to this level, or maybe even a little bit lower towards this level. And then we're potentially gonna start pumping into the highs. Okay, so this is something that I expect on EU. And right now, I think it's first time to drop into my pairs, but basically the market opened right there, 24th of May. We straight exploded to the upside with this nice move to the upside, with this nice pump to the upside, broke structure to the highs, basically created a higher high. So as we are at the higher high, we expect a pullback. So there is our pullback, and then basically it taps into this demand level right there. So we expect to take longs, but have a look. The market tries to push, fails, tries to push, fails, tries to push again and fails. And basically we started to decline to the downside. And then I knew that basically this level is not holding. So we're going to have a pump to the downside. There is our pump, but it looks like heavy manipulation because we had a nice sell and then a big buy. So basically this formation, the bearish bullish formation, is manipulation. Therefore, I am really not sure what to expect right now for the upcoming week. But let me trigger my two trades. The first one that I took was a break even, so let me actually go like this. So basically, as the market pushed to the downside, I was expecting to have a reaction either from this wick, or if I drop to the 15-minute time frame, there is that little slowdown, which is kind of a push down, slow down, and then a massive explosion outside of this little base. So I was expecting to take a short from here, and as you can see, actually the market reacted really nicely. So I tried to take a little intraday scalp towards this level right there. So if I drop to the 5-minute, there is your push, there is your pullback, higher low, higher high. So basically I was expecting a retest of some of those levels for my TP, and then dropping to the 1-minute to show you how I took my trade. So basically always structure, I wait for structure shifts. The market is creating bullish structure right there. We faked the highs right there, and since then we broke structure to the downside. We created this very nice pullback, and then we sharply broke structure again. So basically this was my lower high, and I was looking for a retest of that level, so I entered exactly right there. I'm gonna share my MT4 stats as well. And yeah, then the market pushed to the downside. I believe I did not take any partials on this one because I was simply wanted to go for a 1 to 5 to the downside. Then this market pushed up, and after this candle rejected, I went break even. And basically this candle right here stopped me out at break even. I'm pretty happy with the break even because if I didn't secure, it would have been a stop loss. But for me also, the failure to really break below this level was an indication that we might not be about to continue. Okay, And then basically what the market did, it went into the hourly level, which is really strong. And then basically we had again that same structure shift, push to the downside, pullback, failure to make a higher high, which created a lower high, a nice pump to the downside, and there is your retest. So basically this was a really nice short opportunity. There is your another push, and then you just simply start following. You can also drop your fips. It's always a retest of a Fibonacci level or a structural level. And I could have taken maybe even 2 shorts right there to ride it to the downside and to potentially target these lows right there, but I didn't. So this was, I believe, Monday. I took a break even. Then let me show you what I did on, let me delete this and let me go, 15 minutes or maybe hourly. Let's see. So basically, so we reacted from this, then we pushed to the upside, and I was looking for the longs inside this levels right there. I was looking for continuations, failing to acknowledge that the full hourly has made a higher high, so we are about to pull back. Okay, dropping onto the 15 minutes. I had a couple of levels, so this one is no longer relevant. This is where we potentially could have taken shorts on the 25th of May, but I didn't. Then we push into the highs, we consolidate, we push up, we slow down again, and then we impulse to the upside, breaking structure. So basically I wanted to take a long from here, failing to acknowledge that if I just plot the Asian range, that the market faked above the Asian range, and then we're just about to go down, but I took that long right there, but it is what it is. Then let me drop to the 1 minute and trying to find all that price, hit the replay too. Basically, I also had this level right there, this extreme, which is also a 5-minute demand level, but I refined it all the way down to the 1 minute. So this is somewhere that I wanted to take a long from, but I rushed a little bit. So this was on Frankfurt Open, as you can see, 8 o'clock for me. We had this push, the market consolidated, and as it was pushing down, I entered right there on this level because I was simply expecting a reaction from this level, and I didn't have it. So we had a massive drop to the downside, and I was immediately about to get stopped out. What I could have done is I could have closed my trade at break even, because then this next candle opened. We pushed into the highs, and at a moment I was in profit right there. I'm also going to share my MT4 stats so you can see I was at profit, but I was like, yeah, man, you just took the risk, let it go. All right. And then the next candle, boom, stop loss. So this trade was lost. That is perfectly fine. So I immediately adjusted and I was like, okay, so should I be looking for shorts? And I tried to take a short. I tried to take a short from right there, but the market did not reach me out. So basically created this double top, and then it flushed to the downside. So from the morning I had this level, right? So I am like, okay, I'm gonna take the long because I'm overall long bias on EU. I think we should go for the higher highs. Okay, so this was another mistake that I did. I executed in this trade right there. I'm also gonna share my MT4 stats, and I was spotting that the market was going overall bearish. So what I did is I took partials right there to cover my loss. So basically I covered my loss with a little bit more with this push to the upside, which was a, what was it? I think, yeah, 1 to 4 or something like this. And then seeing that the market was failing to continue higher, I moved my stop loss below the structure and I got stopped out right there at profits. I'm also going to share the MT4 stat for this. So basically this was my day on the EU, finishing on profits, which is pretty nice. 1 loss, 1 win right there with partial and a partial stop loss. I'm not sure how much I banked, around 2 point something% on this one, but yeah, this is basically EU this week, and I did not take any more trades on EU. Then I went on to GU, which I'm gonna show you a little bit later. But of course there were a lot more trades to be taken, right? But it was nothing really clear for me, because then you simply see that we entered in this big consolidation. So since the 26th of May all the way to the 28th of May, before this pump to the downside, we consolidated. So figuring out where EU could go was a little bit too hard. Let's see what we can do next week. Again, drop your daily level, guys, right there. Why is this red? I don't know. Drop your daily level. I would expect the market to go down, because right now we actually have a structural break to the downside, which is more or less a manipulation, but we also created this supply on top right there. So currently the market is in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so it's really hard to figure out what EU is gonna do right now. So what I'm gonna allow the market to do is just print some new price action on Monday. Okay, I'm not gonna trade on Monday. Just let the market print some new price action. We can climb into the highs and react from here and jump into the lows, and then to create that bullish shift to potentially continue that monthly trend. Because first of all, I would expect the pump to the downside on EU to create that monthly low. So let's see, nothing too much. All the levels were taken. Even if you have a look at this demand, this was also taken. So everything right now is balanced, right? We have this supply, we have this demand right there. So let's see where the market is going to go first, and then we have to react. And even if you go to the 1 hour, yeah, on the 1 hour, you can say that the market broke structure as well. So you could look for trades inside this level. Definitely, possibly. You can tap inside, then we can pump up. But then from the upside, we can go down. So it's really about following what the market is going to do. So let's wait for Monday to play out. And then, of course, I'm going to update you on Tuesday. This week, my community crushed EURUJPY. There were some amazing textbook setups on it. As you can see, we're having a beautiful bullish engulfing weekly candle. This is mainly because of USDJPY, because we had a nice pump on USDJPY with the overall bias for the yen, which is bearish. We see that all the JPYs created a nice pump to the upside. So basically, this pump happened right there on Thursday, 27th, a nice pump, then a little correction. So therefore, this pair is really in a very nice uptrend. So what happened right there? On the 24th, we created a sell candle that we pushed to the upside. We were still a little bit bearish, so basically we reacted from this supply. But as you can see, this was just a reaction. The market pulled back, it created a higher low, it actually retested the structure. Not really, but then we pumped very nicely into the highs, which introduced a lot of bullish pressure, and we knew that this market is potentially going up. Then we wanted to see a retest of this 4 hourly demand. The market came perfectly inside. Then we dropped to the hourly time frame, right? You see a nice downtrend. You can definitely take shorts towards that area, but as the market comes inside this area, sorry guys, my voice is a little bit low. As you can see, the market actually broke the hourly structure, and then what we did is we came for the retest. And if you drop to your lowest time frames, you're gonna see where exactly we retested, around this area. So this trade was actually taken by a lot of people in the community. Stop loss below, pretty tight. And yeah, simply, if you are trading from such a 4 hourly level, we can swing it, but most of the profits were taken somewhere right there. All right, but as you can see, this trade turned into a very nice 1 to 20 with this massive 4 hourly pump to the upside. So this could have been really nice. And of course, there were other opportunities along the way, right? And even before that for the short. So EJ was actually pretty nice this week. As for the next week, we just continue to follow the trend. It's pretty simple. Where is your higher low? It's right there. Drop it as a zone like this. All right. Currently, the market is creating a higher high, and we already have a resistance level. So we can definitely expect the market to pull back, to tap inside this area, and then to continue potentially up. Does that mean we can take shorts? Absolutely. And as you can see, we already have a little bit of a break of structure right there. But first of all, I really need to see, a little bit more bearishness, because you don't want to just short it from right there, because you can have something like this first. All right, so basically EJ is perfectly to the upside, currently at a higher high, so we can start taking shorts, but just be careful, because the market can definitely just explode to the upside. But eventually we should start looking longs as the market taps inside this demand for potential continuations. So let's see. Let's have a look at the Aussies. They're pretty much not clear. All right, as you can see, we are more than 2 months consolidating inside this range. Drop to your monthly time frame, have a look at that monthly candle. All right, big indecision, pin bar, a big quick right there, try to push down, try to push up, try to push up again and fail. Really want to see a higher low on this pair inside right there, and then a push to the upside. Something really similar to what EU did. If you remember, we had a push, a pullback, a push higher high, a higher low to potentially retest this really strong monthly demand, and then from here we should start pumping up. Okay, really want to see this pull back a little bit more. It makes a lot of sense for it to start pulling back. Weekly time frame is not clear. Dropping to the daily time frame, yeah, I just can't make any sense. I see a head and shoulders right there, but not really clear. Still bullish. Drop to your 4 hourly time frame, and what you're gonna see is this, and overall this. Okay, so this was a break above, a retest. A lot of people went long right there, but then the market just blew them down inside this consolidation. So perfectly consolidating markets. I really need to see a little bit of a bearish trend created before we can actually start targeting these lows right there, the weekly lows. All right, another range right there to potentially, you can see this market jumps from a range to a range, from a range to a range. So it's really not clear. Okay, no trades were taken for me on this pair. There was a little long that we tested out from here right there. So as you can see, the market tapped inside, started breaking structure, tried to tap, failed, created a push, tried to tap, failed, then we tap, we react from this little demand, but it simply failed to follow through and create a higher high. So basically this market is perfectly bearish right now. And if you have a look, we have this supply area right now. It's basically a lower high. The market pushed down, pulled back all of those wicks, and right now we sharply explode to the downside. Looks nice. We broke structure. Therefore, I'm gonna be looking for how the market is gonna develop right there to really show me some bearishness, to retest, and then to potentially head higher. And of course, drop to your daily time frame, or maybe 4 hourly, maybe 8 hourly. Know where the market can react from. There is a very strong demand right there, so this is definitely gonna react from here. So if we potentially tap inside, we can have a little uptrend to retest the newly created structure, and then we can potentially start dropping down. Okay, a new monthly candle is gonna open, and I really hope it's gonna be bearish so we can start taking some clear shorts on AU. But definitely, guys, wait for some clear structure on this one. Right now we start seeing some bearishness, so I really hope this is actually gonna sustain. As for AJ, good luck on trading this one. If you don't trade like the hourly, there's your little long opportunity, by the way, right there. A push to the upside, a pullback into the higher low, drop to your hourly, a clear impulse, a really nice correction, double bottom creation right there, so you can potentially take your trades, the break of the hourly structure, and your retest, another trade right there. So basically there could have been a pretty nice opportunity on the 27th of May on AJ. And the problem is right now that this looks a little bit bullish. It's because of the JPY. So let's see, they're pretty much not correlated right now with AU, so that's not really nice. But basically there is our demand level. Okay, we created a full hourly high, which is reacting from this resistance right there. So keep in mind that this could also be a double top for the market to reverse. So what I'm going to be looking for right now is for the market to tap inside here, to react, to retest, and then to potentially target the high. Okay, but if we fail to make a high, then we're definitely about to go down. Okay, super important, guys. Don't have a bias. Don't say I'm bullish on AJ, but just say I'm gonna follow the market and whatever it provides me with. All right, so right now, yes, I am bullish. I'm gonna be looking for the market to get inside, to show me the shift, and then to potentially get long. But it really depends what happens inside the sale level right there, because we can simply start trading to the downside, because this also needs, yeah, it's way too messy. Monthly time frame, we're just creating wicks. It definitely needs a monthly pullback. Look at that big push. It's starting to lose steam, so I would really love to start seeing some pullbacks on AJ. So let's see. But shorter term, looking for longs. If we fail to tap into this demand and react, then we're definitely about to go down. So let's see. Let's have a look at the NZDs, because they're also pretty much messy right there. We can see on the weekly time frame we had a bullish candle with rejected from the top, and it closed like almost 50% wick and 50% body, which is overall indecision. On the weekly time frame, it definitely looks like potentially going for the highs. All right, so maybe we're about to target these highs. Was this pullback enough for a higher low to be created in order to push for a higher high? We don't know. We have to see. All right, daily time frame, overall consolidation right there. So there is a very strong supply right there, so we can definitely expect a reaction as the market comes there. And yeah, overall bullish. If you have a look from the downside, we're overall trending to the upside, so that is pretty nice. Dropping on the 4-hourly time frame, well, yeah, we opened right there with a nice pump, a pullback, a nice pump above. Then we consolidated, then we pump below. So basically, if you see this as demand, it's kind of currently tapping inside, but looking at that bearish pressure, I think we might drop a little bit further, but where to? It's definitely not clear. And I'm actually not trading this pair right now because it's not reacting nicely. It's overall confusing. But two levels that I'm going to be monitoring for potential reaction. This one is already reacting, but also if you spot from the upside, okay, from the upside, we're starting to create bearish structure. And if you drop to the hourly, we have a failure to break above right there. We sharply push to the downside inside this demand with a very sharp move. We pull back, basically equal lower highs. Remember what I told you in EU, we have right now an inverse head and shoulders, so I can definitely expect a reaction, but I want to see how the market is going to react from here. Okay, that is my immediate thoughts, because if we fail to break above this level, then I'm gonna start looking for shorts, okay, and for something like this. But if we break above this level, therefore I'm gonna start looking for longs towards that big daily zone. Okay, so this is simply my plan on NZDUSD. It's not clear. I'm just monitoring how the market is going to react from this level right now. If we're going to have a retest, a continuation. Then if we're gonna have a break above this level, and if we have a break above, I'm gonna be looking for the pullback and continuation inside this level. Okay, but if we don't have a break above, then it's all about then changing the structure and starting to take shorts. Okay, so again, I am not giving you a bias, I'm giving you all the scenarios, and then it's all up to you to have the skill to actually execute on what you see. Yes, NJ, same story. We are currently tapping inside the demand. Okay, basically the higher low, we push above, we pull back below, already reacting. So all we need to see right now is if this is gonna be the reaction. I don't think so, because basically right now we're a little bit too high. So I would really love to see actually a daily pullback inside these levels. But if you pull back on the daily towards those levels, the market is definitely gonna change, okay? But basically you can see we have a push, consolidation, a push outside, a little retest, and then a massive pump above. So basically I would actually love to see the market retest right here, or maybe this whole zone like this, okay? So let's see, again, a lot of things can happen. We can have a reaction from this level, a potential push for a high. Maybe we're gonna create a lower high, break below, retest, then target this level, and then from here, adjust and see what we can do, because we can continue with the overall bullish trend on the higher time frames, okay? Because yeah, as you can see, higher low, higher high, higher low right there, higher high, this could be your higher low. You can see if you just take your, where are you? Highlighter, higher low formation, higher low formation, higher low formation. Right now we have a higher high, so we definitely need a pullback like this, okay? And we don't have it, so therefore a nice pullback right there to create a higher low will be really nice to see. So let's see, overall looking bullish on the NZDs, but they're definitely a little bit tricky in terms of the scenarios that could develop. So of course, flow with the market and stay tuned for the Tuesday analysis. Let's have a look at USD JPY. So we basically created this massive pump to the downside, but it tapped into demand, and as you can see, we very sharply reacted to the upside, and we also broke structure. And this push happened in 3 weeks. 3 months. We're in the monthly time frame. And then we had all of that very nice complex correction, right? Creating this kind of flag formation. And right now we are maybe about to emerge to the upside and start targeting those highs, all right? Because simply this is your high, higher low, right? Push, correction. Right now we should be about target for a high. So let's see, this is the monthly time frame. Let's see, dropping onto the weekly time frame, a very nice bullish engulfing candle right there to engulf all the consolidation from the previous 3 weeks. So that is also really good. I told you that we have an inside bar as well the previous week, so definitely expect a reaction. And as you can see, we just faked below the low of the previous week just by a little bit, and then we continue to push into the highs really nicely. Therefore, potentially we can be targeting the highs right now on UJ. And yes, another push. Have a look, the same formation on the monthly is on the daily. A massive pump into the highs, then a nice like flag-like formation, and then we again start to impulse to the upside. Really bullish, really bullish. And as you can see, oh, what am I doing right there? Yep, as you can see, it made it a little bit too hard to actually take a trade, but if you simply follow the structure, there is your lower high, there is your lower low. So the market broke the lower high, created a higher high, then it came to retest with this wick. So if you actually enter somewhere right there, you could have been stopped out by this wick, but then what we do is we impulse again. And if you drop on the hourly, there is your new break of structure on the hourly, and then where you need to enter is from this newly created demand. Okay, so what you could have done is you could have entered from here, which gave you the reaction but failed to follow through to the upside. Tap again, then maybe you could have gotten break even. Then there is your manipulation, there is your push to the upside that broke structure, pull back, and then it's all about getting an entry inside this area, which I totally think it's possible. Drop to your lowest time frames, you are gonna see it on every time frame. And then we massively impulsed to the upside, which made all the JPYs also explode. Okay, so right now we have a new daily level created. So if the market pulls back towards that level, definitely let's long it. Right now we can potentially retest this overall daily supply to potentially react from, but I am bullish. Okay, so two things that we can do is we can tap inside this level, react, create a higher low, and continue to the upside, or we can start with a downwards moving market towards this area, break structure, and then to potentially continue to pump to the upside. So bullish bias on UJ. It's all about seeing where it can potentially go. Okay, 2 daily levels. All right, so if we tap inside this, I would expect a short, but the short is gonna be short-term short because we're overall going up. And if the market starts bearish, let's see the hourly time frame, retest this level and we start trending to the downside, I'm gonna be taking shorts towards this daily level, and from there I'm gonna start looking for longs targeting these weekly highs. Okay, so that's my plan on UJ. Let's see what's gonna happen. All right, let's have a look at the GBPs. As always, starting with GU. I'm on the monthly time frame. Let's have a look what is happening. Let's try to build a story. So have a look at this monthly low right there and how it got beautifully manipulated by this wick. Then we sharply impulsed to the upside and then we started creating bullish structure. Okay, this big wick right there contains a lot of orders, so the market already tested it, we already reacted, and right now I believe we are actually going above this level. So if I delete all of those drawings and I tap this level, but first of all we're gonna take the weekly high. So basically 42.50 and then around 44, those are my targets on GU because I am bullish. Okay, dropping onto the weekly time frame, we can see that the market already reacted from this level, pulled back, and right now we're just fast advancing towards it and then eventually to break it. Okay, and yes, another bullish week, which is pretty nice. Daily time frame, overall choppy. Okay, so GU has been choppy. The first thing that I want to mark right there is this daily demand that still hasn't been tapped, but seeing how the market wants to impulse, we might actually not tap it. Or of course, another thing can happen is we can completely reverse to come inside this daily demand. Okay, a couple of situations right there, because as you can see on the weekly time frame, we're currently creating a higher high. Okay, so if the market cannot break this wick, or maybe it's gonna break it and then we're gonna initiate a weekly pullback. Okay, so because there is your, where is this, there is your push here, the weekly push, you need to have a pullback in order to continue higher. Okay, that's how the market works, and we still haven't had it, so we can definitely expect it. Okay, so right now let me actually show you my trades. Let's see, group one. Yeah, this was a trade taken on Friday. So what I did is let's see, so I wanted to take a short. Okay, and my overall target was this candle. On my other broker it actually looks a little bit different. I wanted to take a short towards this level right there, simply because the market made a higher high. As you can see, we have broken this most recent high right there, and we also tap inside this big rejection candle, so I expected a reaction. We already saw the reaction, so I was looking for shorts. Dropping on the 50-minute time frame. So what we did was the Asian session was a little bit trending. If I just trigger it very quickly, this is your Asian high right there. Come on. There is your Asian high, there is your Asian low. Then from here, from the middle of Asia, we sharply pumped to the downside and we also broke structure. Okay, so first of all, I wanted to take a long, but I hesitated. Let me drop to the 50-minute, to the 5-minute. There is my kind of origin of the higher low that very massively impulsed to the upside. Okay, those two bearish candles. So I wanted to enter a long right there. I actually had it ready, but I hesitated because the market really nicely pushed to the downside. And on EU, if I trade Frankfurt, I get beaten up a lot on EU. So I was like, all right, let's chill. So I'm not going to take this one. I'm going to look for my short because this was a beautiful lower high created and we massively pumped into the downside. So basically I wanted to take a long from here, which would have been beautiful towards this area. Okay. Also, another thing that we've been laughing a lot with my team is I had a lot of missed trades this week due to setting limit orders. All right, a lot of missed trades. I could have been way more up this week, but it's perfectly fine. So basically, I wanted to set my limit right there to catch even a tighter stop loss, but I executed somewhere right there. I'm gonna share my MT4 stats for this one. And the market really nicely reacted to the downside, and I took 70% of my profits down there. I'm gonna share like my first trade, the entry and the exit as well. And then what I did is I said, okay, I want to write this down for a 1 to, what was it? It was a pretty big risk to reward. I think a 1 to 15. But yes, simply what the market did is it just changed against me. So as you can see, we push up, pull back, push up, higher high, higher low, higher high. We retest this overall level right there. And then we just exploded to the upside. And where we went is above the Asian high. If you remember, so we manipulated above the Asian high, we broke structure to the downside. So I was thinking to take a short trade right there. Okay, but I was like, okay, it's already the end of the day, it's already the end of the week, so I'm not gonna go for it. And yeah, if only I took it, this could have been a very, very nice short trade. Have a look at that massive dump to the downside. And also, if you execute from here, stop loss above structure, It's also pretty tight, and just going all the way down for this one could have been a pretty nice one to 16. All right, but pretty happy with what I did. So this is what I did on GU basically, and I had a couple of missed trades, I believe. I'm not gonna go in depth. I'm gonna make sure to make a separate video for that in order to break all of my trades and also the missed trades, because I had a lot of them this week. But basically this is my Friday trade on GU. So as I said right now, going back to the daily time frame, two things could happen. First, demand, make sure to mark it on your daily, and second, demand on the daily. I really want to see this one reached. So as I told you, usually when the monthly candle opens, if we are about to continue to pushing to the upside, there has to be a monthly low, okay? And we also need a weekly pullback. So we can have maybe 2 weeks of a pullback to the downside on GU. But overall on the 4-hourly time frame, just have a look at it, guys. What is this? Okay, it is a consolidation. So we're stuck in the range on GU. That it is what it is. We're just stuck, and there is nothing more to say about this pair. There is your resistance right there, and there is your support that stems from this demand Z level right there. A lot of things can happen right now. We can continue to push into the highs to break those weekly highs that I spoke about. We can shift the structure to the downside. So basically for me right now, guys, it's pretty hard to tell where we're going, okay? Simply, I would much better focus on the daily time frame and wait for some of those daily levels to get tapped. But if they're actually gonna get tapped, we're gonna have a beautiful trend shift on the hourly time frame. So as you can see right now, actually the hourly time frame looks a little bit bearish because we created this demand. We massively pushed to the downside, supply actually. We pull back towards this and we're already reacting, but is this gonna react to potentially create a lower low? We don't know, okay? So keep it simple right now. We have resistance, we have support, the market is in the middle. I'm just waiting for some more structure, okay? Maybe if the market breaks below, retest, I can target the daily lows, okay? Because I'm gonna constantly flow with the market. And if you just learn how we trade, there is no need to drop any lines, any charts. Just wake up fresh in the morning. You know what you're looking for. You know where to look for. You also have our daily analysis, right? Every single day, you know what I'm looking for as well. So we all trade together. But this is GU. In all honesty, just consolidation. So I'm waiting to see where it might take us. As for GJ, right, with that JPY explosion, this is what we did. We consolidated for quite some time and then we just exploded. We created this. I want you to also pay attention that the market actually never broke structure below, okay? Just mark here like higher low right there, higher low here, and then higher lows as well right there. So it was never broken to the downside. Basically, this was just trending up, and it was all about this massive explosion, which also right now needs a pullback. So there is where the push originates from. This is our daily demand. Two things can happen. The market can just continue to pump to the upside without a pullback, or we might shift a little bit towards that level and then we can pump into the upside. So therefore GJ also needs a little bit time to just adjust and to see where it might go, because right now just consolidation, I don't know where it could go and what it could do, right? Therefore I'm just giving it some time, and the perfect scenario will be to take a lot of shorts towards that level and then to launch a big swing long. Okay, so that's my outlook on GJ for now. GA also pretty bullish. Weekly time frame going eventually for these highs. Maybe on GU this is 85-200, not really any significant level. I also don't trade GA, but it's exactly the same as the others. We create this daily demand level. The market pushed, slowed down, pushed. So we also have a 4-hourly level that we can potentially react from. Right now we're in a push phase and just initiating the pullback. So two things could happen. We can push down inside, then we are gonna react from this level eventually. But the thing is, are we gonna have a higher high, or are we gonna have a failure to make a higher high and then to potentially dump inside the daily level, and then from there to create this bullish pullback, a bullish push? All right, because again, I would expect a monthly low, and we might even have one bearish week on all those trades to create that monthly low before actually continuing to push up. Okay, so this is also my outlook on GA. And Euro GBP, this is a pair that I just don't touch at all. It's not clear for me. Never push down, consolidated, pullback, cool. Right now we're overall bearish. Monthly time frame, yeah, look at that monthly time frame. It's just, this is a combination of EURUSD and GBPUSD, and EU and GU move together. So I find no sense in actually trading Euro GBP, but it's just me. All right, maybe that's just me, But yeah, if I just look on the daily level, there is like this very strong demand that broke structure. So eventually if the market taps inside this one, I'm gonna expect a reaction. But right now the market is coming from the top, basically creating bearish price action, okay, and bearish structure. Therefore I'm looking for the sells, building that story. So if we have a pullback towards this level, I'm gonna be looking for sells towards that big daily demand. And there is your potential level to look for, which is gonna create a lower high. Also drop your FIB. Make sure to wait for the market to emerge above the 50% before taking a trade, and just monitor how the lower high is being created. All right. So that is basically it, guys. All right. It is really important to wait a little bit right now on Monday, Tuesday. Let's see how the market is going to open. It's a new month, so a lot of things can be expected. GU, my main pair, is overall consolidative. It's been pretty hard to actually trade GU, so I'm definitely waiting for something to happen. GJ definitely needs that pullback. GA also have 2 levels to react from, and Euro GBP looking for overall shorts, which supports the overall long bias on all the GBPs. So let's see what's gonna happen, and let's hope we're gonna have some nice moves. Gold is about to close with a massive bullish engulfing candle in the monthly time frame. All right, so we're potentially about to go for a higher high because the dollar is getting weaker and more investors will be putting their money into gold right now. And as you can see, we are already having the reaction. On the daily time frame, yeah, we consolidated overall. We had one bullish day and then we consolidated again. Then we retested this broken structure right there. And then we continued to push higher basically. And if you drop on the 4-hourly time frame, you're gonna see that we originate from here. There is your retest, chop. We push up again. We tap inside a level that I showed you from the previous week. We tap inside, we reacted, but we basically retested that structure that I told you on the daily, and we're already on the move up. So gold is definitely going higher right now. Are we gonna have a weekly pullback? Because you can see we've been pushing up for quite some time, and it will be a little bit unrealistic to say that the market is gonna pull back towards these areas right there. Possibly, but let me know what your bias is on gold. I'm sure it is long bias, but where are you gonna get into it? Maybe right there. Is it gonna pull back a little bit into 1880s again? I'm not pretty sure, but yes, I personally don't trade gold, but right now I'm really getting interested in it, and I wish actually I bought an ETF down there, as I was calling a lot of those levels right there, and especially like the 1700s right there. And as you can see, we just consolidated around the 1700s. We dipped a little bit below, and since then we've been nicely moving to the upside. So let's see how this trend for gold is gonna go. But right now, eventually we are about to target all of those daily highs right there. And wrapping the video up with some indices, well, pretty much nothing this week. On the weekly time frame, we're having an overall bullishness right there. All the stocks are like at their highs, so definitely I'm still looking forward for a crash. But yes, as you can see, the market basically found support from this demand. You see that big sell before a big buy right there. Then we have this nice tap inside this level, and we very nicely reacted, and we still continue to trend up. So my next target is actually this level. First of all, we might pull back a little bit on US 30 before continuing higher, so make sure to watch out for this newly created demand. And basically that's it. I'm looking for the longs until this level, and then potentially we have to see if we're gonna have a reaction from it to the downside, or are we just gonna break above it. Pretty similar with NASDAQ, which is overall shifting to the upside. After creating this double bottom from the daily level, we shifted to the upside, push, pullback, higher low, higher high, and right now we're consolidating inside this supply level. Therefore, I would really love to see a new pullback towards this level, or maybe into the lower ones, so something like this potentially, or maybe even something like this. All right, so let's buy the dip on NASDAQ. Let's see if it pulls back from this supply level. It's been staying here for quite some time, and have a look at that manipulation in the last hours. A nice bullish push and then a nice bearishness, so definitely this means that we might start going to the downside. So let's see. And S&P as well. I didn't buy from there, right? But simply because this pullback is not enough for me, like 4%. Yeah, definitely is, but I bought actually a little bit earlier. I think I did buy this month. Yeah, but we're already at the end of the month, so it's like it's a lot of time has passed. I think I bought this dip right there. But yeah, right now we are at the highs, basically creating bullish structure. There is our demand level, so let's see how we're gonna potentially react from this levels right there. And yes guys, this is how I want to wrap up this video. I really hope you enjoyed it and got something from it. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe as well, and let me know what you want to see more. What kind of educational content that you want to see, what are you struggling with, so I can help you out. I'm really thinking of starting to speak more about the psychological aspect as well, because I've been overcoming and fighting with a lot of things, a lot of fears, a lot of doubts, and yeah, all of those things. So let me know. Thank you so much for staying up until now. Really hope you enjoyed it again. Stay tuned for my Tuesday analysis on Telegram. Link is down in the description, and see you then. Have a relaxing weekend and a crushing week ahead of you.